I'd like to show you a few of the things that you need to do before you can go scuba diving. Scuba diving is a wonderful sport. It's very relaxing, but you have got to take professional guidance and do a course so that you know what you're doing, and you do need the correct equipment. So let's have a quick look at the equipment. The first thing you're going to need to do underwater is to breathe. So for that you need air. Now these tanks contain air which is pressurized 200 times more than air at normal sea level. So they're under extremely high pressure. They're made of aluminium, and I just want to let you hear the noise as the air comes out. So you can hear they're under extremely high pressure there. You can't possibly breathe that would damage your lungs. So what you need is to make it so that it's at a pressure that your lungs can cope with. And for that we need this thing here, which is called a regulator. The top piece attaches to the tank and reduces the pressure to ambient pressure. So we've got two hoses on the right hand side of it. This one here is the one that you would breathe out of when you're underwater, and there's another one because that's a spare. In case your buddy or somebody that is underwater that's swimming with you or diving with you runs out of air, you can both breathe from your tank. So you can give them this one and they can breathe from it, and then you hold hands and swim along together, and then you come up to the surface safely. So the third hose here attached to it is a pressure gauge, and that shows you how much air you have left in your tank. You have to keep checking that regularly to make sure you don't run out. And this one is what's called a low pressure inflator. This attaches to our next piece of equipment, which is called a Buoyancy Control Device, or BCD. And the BCD is this piece of equipment here. It's like a vest that you wear, and you can inflate it when you're on the surface of the water so that the equipment doesn't drag you down, because some of this equipment can be quite heavy. You only would inflate it on the surface though, you don't inflate it underwater at all. It has this thing here which is where the LPI, that hose, attaches to, and that can inflate it by pushing this button, and then to deflate it to go under the water, or when you're ascending and the air's expanding in your BCD, you press this button and it lets the air out again, it deflates it. These are quite comfortable to wear. They've got a padded back. They've got pockets so you can put other bits of equipment into it, like torches or pointers or whatever else you need. And they're held on the front with 5 straps, so you're quite secure, and they are adjustable. And then at the back you've got this strap here and this strap here which hold the tank onto the bank of the BCD firmly, so it's on your back. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is a mask so that you can see the beautiful underwater world that we have here on planet Earth. So this is one type of mask. You get all different types, and you can also get them with prescription lenses in if you normally wear glasses. This is just an ordinary one. And then you need fins. When we're diving, we move as gently and as smoothly as we can. So we don't use our hands, we don't use normal swimming strokes, we just fin gently like this, slowly and gently moving through the water. Or we can use a frog kick if you wish as well, it's your preference, but we only use legs to move. We don't swim wildly like you would on the surface. Okay, one more piece of equipment that you might want, and it depends where you're diving in the world, is a wetsuit. They can be in different thicknesses, they can be long or short, thick or thin, and it is personal preference and also depends on the diving conditions. 2 reasons for wearing a wetsuit. One is for insulation, to keep you warm in colder waters, and the second one is for protection. If you're caught in a current and you're brushed against rocks or coral, that could actually injure you. So a good reason for wearing a wetsuit is to protect you against any objects that you might bump into underwater. Normally we do not touch anything underwater, whether it's a fish or a turtle or a piece of coral or a rock or the sand or anything. We don't disturb the environment. Anyway, so that is the equipment. Let's just have one last look at it. Fins, mask, BCD, regulator and tank. That's the equipment you need before you go to learn to scuba dive. So, good luck, and I hope you enjoy scuba diving. Bye.